Hey guys, today I want to share with you my experience with the Hustler Mower Bagger and what I wish I knew before purchasing this system for the Hustler SD 60-inch mower. I'll talk about my intentions for the mower, a quick review on how it's installed, and what I like and dislike. When purchasing this mower, I ordered the bagger with the dealer and they delivered it installed. My intent is to bag the grass when it's a few inches longer than normal. I try to cut it weekly or when it needs it, but sometimes life and just weather gets in the way. The bagger would be really handy at these times to pick up the grass so I'm not left with these ugly clumps around the yard. It just looks terrible. Secondly, at the end of the season for my last mow, I try to cut the grass a little shorter than normal to help discourage mice and moles from living beneath the snow and grass during the winter season. Any clippings left around will only encourage them to move in and make these little tunnels. Next, I want a bagger for when I'm hosting garden parties. I love the look at a freshly cut yard, especially when it's clean. It looks awesome and no one is tracking in grass into the house or on their feet. I'd also like to use the bagger to pick up any dried thatch after dethatching the lawn. This gives the grass the freedom to grow without the interference of that old dead grass. And any grass that I do bag, I plan on taking it to the local composting facility. And I only really plan to bag the grass 2, 3, or maybe 4 times a year. And obviously not bagging is the preference because it's much quicker not to bag and is very important for those grass clippings to decay and break down as fertilizer, which is needed for future growth. And now for a quick tour on how the bagging system is installed. First off, we have the high lift blade, which is installed right next to the deck exit to provide extra airflow to get those grass clippings up the tube and into the hopper. Obviously the chute here takes the grass clippings into the hopper onto the back. They're made from mesh to allow that extra air to exit and leave the grass behind. Here is a quick look at how the chute is attached to the deck. And it's important to note that while the bagger is installed onto the mower, the engine guard will need to be removed. And now drive around, do a bunch of mowing, and once the bags are full, unlatch the cover and empty the bags. It's a pretty straightforward setup, and here's what I like about it. For my purposes, it worked great when mowing short grass at a very slow speed. The bags would fill up after about 8 to 10 minutes of mowing, and there were no issues with the bagger. I was able to collect a lot of short grass here, but I had to mow at about half the normal cutting speed. Now, mowing short grass is not normally when I mow the lawn. Here are a few issues I did experience with the system when using it under normal circumstances. Now, first off, this is more of an FYI, but the mower is going to be about 2 feet longer, so maneuvering it around buildings and trees will need special care as to not cause any damages. Next, like I mentioned, the engine guard can't be used with the bagger system in place. Removing this system is also a lot of work. Since I don't plan on using the bagger every time I mow, swapping them would be a pain, and that's not something I'm interested in. Next, let's talk about the high lift blade. I don't like the airflow from it. It creates a lot of extra air under the deck, and some of it escapes out through the front underneath the deck, and I end up covered in grass and dirt. And on the same topic of the blade, this one is a little bit interesting. The middle blade doesn't cut as well when the high lift blade is in place. I removed the blades and put the default blades back on, and this problem went away. And again, speaking of airflow, I noticed that the chute doesn't make a good seal where it's attached to the deck. Alright guys, this one is the deal breaker. It's really important to note that the chute can get clogged with grass clippings. If the grass is over 1 inch long, the system really struggles, like more than 50% of the time. Even if I slow down, take it easy, and go about 1/3 of the normal ground speed, and have full throttle on dry grass, the airflow just can't push the grass up the chute and into the hopper. And it's not just a matter of shutting down the machine, putting your hand in the chute and cleaning it out. You have to remove the whole thing. And as you can see in the background here, the amount of grass I'm cutting is pretty insignificant. The blades will let you know, however, though, if it's having issues and the grass isn't moving. And again, we get another clog, and the grass really isn't that deep. Now this is obviously a 2-bagging system. The 3-bagging system, I'm hearing good things about that. It's wider, holds more grass, and has more opportunity for the air to escape through the mesh. So unfortunately, I wish this one here had more capacity. And on that same note, the mesh bags have this little metal hanger on them, but the fabric isn't secured in behind it and often gets in the way when rehanging them onto the metal frame. Over time, I can see this fabric wearing down, wearing thin, and possibly ripping. Now some baggers have a grass gauge. That would be nice, but every now and then I ran into this situation here. The bags normally fill evenly, but all too often one bag would be full, the other would be empty, and then the system would clog. And lastly, the cover is frustrating. There's no catch when you lift it up, and I ended up getting my hand jammed multiple times. So in the end, I cut a stick to a good length, and I used that to support the cover's weight. Alright guys, that's my 10 concerns here. My biggest concern is obviously the frequency that the chute gets clogged. I went back to my dealer to express my concern, and when I mentioned I was having issues with the bagger on my 60-inch, he stopped me and he's like, "Whoa, who was your salesperson? We don't normally sell the bagger on the 60-inch for residential use. We only sell the bagger on the 60-inch for golf courses who only ever cut off a few millimeters at a time and need that pristine look." He called up Hustler to see if there was any hints or anything that they could do or any new developments on the bagger system on that mower. And basically the bottom line is the 60-inch mower puts out too much grass for normal residential mowing conditions and should not even be considered for that mower. And there's no electric blower option for this model. Unfortunately, none of the research I did before purchasing the mower uncovered that information. So yeah, I was totally bummed. I really wanted this to work. And apparently it does work residentially, but just on the narrower models. They refunded me my money and I purchased the mulcher kit. So it looks like I'll be doing another mower video soon on that. I hope that you found this information helpful and got something from my experience. Please show me your support with a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see what else I'm up to on the acreage. Thanks for watching.